Hi folks, I'm back again. So let's get started with the next part. By the way, we finished part 2A of my series, Drawdown to the Second Coming of Christ. Again, my name is Carol, and I am the presenter of my first series. So we're going to move on to part 3, getting into my favorite part, coming out of the histories, so much of the history, and bringing it down to closer to hour, day, and time with statistics and news reports and so forth. Okay, so I revised part 3 of my series, Drawdown to the Second Coming of Christ, on 12/15/07. And I'm sorry, I revised it, okay, on 12/15/07. I think that's what I said. And my resources and credits that I derived this part of the series from is, again, Tomorrow's World Literature. Now, this is part 3, and the title of part 3 of the series of Drawdown to the Second Coming of Christ is Be Aware, Christ is Coming Again. Yay! And the scripture I based that on was Matthew chapter 24 in its entirety. So if you want to read something, you got to read the whole chapter of Matthew 24 to get the whole picture on this part of the series. The translation, biblical translation I chose to use all the way through, what is the original King James Version of the Bible. And the subject of part 3 is Stop, Look, and Listen. Stop, look, and listen. Key Bible quote, As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? End of quote. And that particular scripture can be found in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. Now, I have a biblical truth on this part, and I'll quote it from the Bible. Quote, And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. End of quote. And you can read these scriptures in Matthew chapter 24, verses 4, 6, 7, 9, 13, and 14 to back that up. Also, I want to read another scripture from Matthew 24, verse 22, and that says, quote, and by the way, all of that biblical truth was a quote from the Bible. So quote, end quote, all of that. This is another quote. And except those days should be shortened. There shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. End of quote. And that's Matthew 24 and 22. Now, on to general comments. The title or topic under, first topic under general comments of part 3 of Drawdown to the Second Coming of Christ is called World Dilemma. World Dilemma. Just as biblical prophecy predicts, the world is now facing wars and rumors thereof. The word said it. Famine, drought, and pollution. Believe it or not, this is all leading up to a time when God will create a new earth. The world as we now know it will cease. This new earth, which is a creation, going to be a creation by God, will be brought on by 21st century current events. This divine creation of a new earth will be just as God wanted things to be in the beginning before Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden. It will be a world of total peace. You see, peace can only come from God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that is. Man can never bring about world peace, matters not how hard they try. There will be some semblance, I'm sure, of peace, but not total peace. So, we need to be aware of what is happening around the world today. Understanding now what purpose God has regarding the world situation as it stands in the 21st century in which we are now living, and what His will is for the new earth that is soon to come according to the Bible. Believers, as believers we see biblical signs of His second coming all around us every day. And as believers, those of us who have chosen to follow Christ, we must share these signs with others so that they might be aware that in fact Jesus is coming soon. Although calamity might seem to be all around us, we can always have a hope in Jesus Christ for a better future life. When He creates the new earth with Jerusalem as its capital. Okay, I'm going to stop here and I'll be back in a few moments. Just give me a little pause break. See you soon.